Hey guys, I hope you can hear me okay. I'm kind of being forced against my will to use Screencast-O-Matic. Um, I don't know what made Div2 MST think this would be a good thing to use for one of the POWs, but now it is my only option because Prezi sucks. So, on that note, to start my presentation, for my Division 2 MST Gateway project, I am researching the question, is math an art and is art in math? And a subsection to my product is researching this as a conceptual question and presenting to you guys some of the research I've done so far to kind of show my answer to this question, but kind of to see what you guys think. So I am doing this video to post on Facebook for you now, and I'm also doing this presentation in my Block 3 MST class tomorrow. So, if you are in my class, cool. Thank you for clicking on this. You don't need to watch it. But if you want to, that's cool too. Thank you. But, yeah. Let's start. You can go now. Okay. So, math and art. These, people really tend to think that these are two schools of thought. Like, at our school, we have AGE and MST. But it's really amazing how these two can be incorporated in each other. And so the first place I go to just look at what is math in the first place? What is art? I mean, I want to know this before I start this project. Of course, the first place I go is Wikipedia. So, mathematics is the abstract quality of quantity, structure, change, and many other topics. Whereas art, the nature of art, or creation through imaginative and technical skill, is explored in a branch of philosophy known as aesthetics. So, right now, if I were lecturing, I would ask people what is the same, what is different. However, this is Facebook, so I'm just going to kind of point out what I think here. Well, I already kind of explained what is different. These are really two schools of thought, and I think people are very, very comfortable with that idea. But, so what's the same? I want to talk about that. Mathematics, I like the the use of the word abstract in here, because I think of abstract as the opposite of specific. Abstract is something that you need to look at something really deeply and kind of interpret it on a different layer. So maybe you'll look at a pattern in math and interpret it as an equation, or there's just so many ways to demonstrate different kinds of math. Whereas art, I like the use of the phrase technical skill. So art, visual art more specifically, one really needs to be able to kind of explain what they are thinking and show it in a way that is interesting to people. So, and math, I think, really does do this. It does use this technical skill and explains it in a way that is both informative and interesting. So, just kind of manipulating this wording, I think this is how this is similar. Feel free to agree or disagree with me, but let's move on. So, throughout the Gateway season, I have spent a majority of my time studying the golden ratio. I think this is a great place to start because it is a mathematical concept, but it shows up everywhere, including art. So, the history of the number, or the thing, is Pythagoras first introduced the golden ratio, but in the 4th century BC, Aristotle noticed the aesthetic properties. You can see the golden ratio illustrated here, and it shown in nature here. And you can see that the spiral that mimics one on a nautilus shell, and the spiral of her hair are very similar. And that when I say it is everywhere, it is in nature and in art, I'm not exaggerating. It is everywhere. So, what could this possibly mean? What is the golden ratio? How could I explain it? So the golden ratio is this number here. It is phi. It is 1.6 blah 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 blah. This is a capital and a lowercase b, and this is how it is noted in mathematical structure. And just kind of really simply explained, it is the quotient of a ratio that shows up absolutely everywhere. And I already said, in nature, art, everything. But in simple terms, it is the relationship of a plus b to a and a to b in this diagram. And this is golden ratio proportions. If this was 1.6, this would be 1. If this was 1.6, this would be one. You understand? So these proportions, along with the Fibonacci sequence spiral, which is right here, shows up in so many places in art, both intentionally and unintentionally. The Parthenon uses it, and the Mona Lisa uses it. So, and there's a very real way that the face kind of embodies this, and you can see this in the Fibonacci spiral here, directly shown in the Mona Lisa. So I think a good point to switch gears would be here, now that I'm talking about the Renaissance art and Da Vinci and the Mona Lisa. So I've been taking art history all semester, so this is me talking here. But the Renaissance and linear perspective are very interconnected. And the linear perspective ultimately is a geometry concept and an optics concept. So, simply defined, light rays travel in straight lines from points observed from the eye, forming a kind of pyramid with the eye as the vertex. If you're more of a visual person, you can see that a vanishing point is right here. And theoretically, when one looks into the distance, everything will vanish in a point, in contrast with the horizon line here. So this is the application of geometry concepts in art, and famous art in the Renaissance and art thereafter. And I would argue that math and art are both very, very important, and they're unified because they are both necessary to portray real space. Both art in kind of the more aesthetic beauty way, but also math with the linear perspective to show just what it is, what it really is. So far, we have really looked at how can extraordinary people, extraordinary artists, mathematicians represent math and art, and if they are mathematicians, how can they represent art? If they are artists, how can they represent math? But really, I would argue that anybody can do this, and anybody does do this. So the video that I would show you, except YouTube is really crapping out right now, is Vi Hart's Sick Number Games. Vi Hart is a mathematician that creates really, or finds phenomenons in math with art. And I would describe more, but what I really want you to do is I want you to go to Google or YouTube, and I want you to search this, and I really want you to watch this video because it is awesome, and it will possibly help you understand my argument a lot more. So pause this right now and come back to it, please. Okay? Okay, so moving on. That is basically my research so far. And what I really want to do is just open it up to you guys and just ask you the question now that I've kind of answered it in a way that is definitely so subtle. So, is math and art, and is art and math? What do you think? And why? So it would be really helpful if you guys could leave some comments below. It would be much appreciated. And, that's all. Thank you very much.